Machine Gun Kelly. The decision to black out your tattoos was crazy. How long did that take?
70 hours. There was a point where I like gave up and I just felt like I was just dying.
When you started dating Megan Fox, was there a part of you that was like, damn, I'm dating the girl from Transformers, Megan Fox?
I don't know this guy from a crumb of bread. He's so dumb that I'm gonna tell him right now, shut the up and don't speak on me anymore.
Expecting a daughter in 2 months.
You're the first man she's ever gonna be in love with.
Come on, bro.
You're the first man she's ever gonna be in love with, and so you were always going to be the safe place. I saw Randy Orton, and I remember seeing him talk about me, and I was like, I'm gonna practice a new version of myself, and then I'm like, that, hey man, you. All my boys were sitting there like,
What'd you say? Bathrooms are great. Our guest is using the bathroom. He will be here momentarily. In the meantime, we will do some riddles.
Okay. What would you call a story, like folklore, about the thing that you eat dinner off of?
A fairy table.
I was going to go a table fable.
All right. Dude, I have to be honest with you. Sitting on this set without my United States Championship.
Lonely road.
Take me home.
For real, dude. Where is it? It was all we had left.
Yeah, you said that and you were right.
Do you actually feel like kind of whack?
For sure. But
You
I
have
feel,
a black eye and no title.
oh,
It's like someone punched you in the face and took your belt.
He beat my ass. I'll be honest. That match hurt.
I saw him there after last night.
With my belt.
Yeah, I said, congrats, champ.
Yeah.
And his eyes lit up. He was like this. He looked so happy.
I mean, look, congrats to him. He's a very good wrestler. It was well-deserved. He fought extremely hard, kicked out of my knockout punch last night. But at the end of the day, it's always going to be my belt. It's my belt.
You branded it.
I see it on him, but everyone knows that U.S. title's mine. So you can have it for now, for the time being. But I'm coming back for a rematch because I don't know if y'all saw.
I don't think he got that pin.
I don't
think he got that pin.
I don't think so. My foot was on the rope. It was on the rope on number 3. 1, 2, and my foot just bounced off the rope. And in wrestling terms, that means the pin doesn't count.
You know what does count? Today's guest.
Play it back. Oh, he counts. Ladies and
Counts
gentlemen,
for something.
Machine Gun Kelly. What up, baby?
What's up,
Good
brother?
to see you, dude. You a headphones guy?
Yeah. You should get in the zone with us.
You don't have to. We like them.
Put him over those razor blades.
I know the razor blades make it.
There we go.
What's up, bro?
What up? Whoa, headphones are kind of cool.
Yeah.
They're nice,
Whoa.
right?
We're locked in.
Dude, we just had Undertaker sitting where you're sitting.
Wow.
Legend.
That's why the ass of this seat is like
Sunken
in. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for doing this, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me.
How you feeling, Colson?
Good. I'm an awkward talker, so I don't know how this is gonna work.
That's
for me,
not true at all.
It's not.
It's not true at all.
It's not.
Dude, you're extremely deep. I was explaining this to Nina yesterday because you come across mysterious to people, and I think that might be part of the allure because you're really an artist to your core. But I was explaining to her, I'm like, he's cerebral, he's creative, he's an intellect, he's in touch with his feelings, he's self-aware. You're all these things, but I'm not sure people really know that about you yet.
I know. There was like this one band that like met me and they were like, "Whoa, man, you're kind of like an enigma. Like I don't really."
You are.
They don't really know who. I mean, you know, to me, I'm always in my house and I'm like, "Fuck, I'm so misunderstood." But that's probably because I never talk.
What?
Well, yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was gonna say not to tell you how you're feeling, but
also jumped right into like the
Well,
hardest
no,
question
sorry.
ever. He had just said,
my bad.
He has trouble talking. Like, describe your cerebral nature.
No. I didn't.
Like,
even,
why would
I
you
didn't
do
even
this
ask
to
a question.
him,
I was just saying. I'm just an observation, and perhaps you feel misunderstood because maybe you have a hard time even understanding yourself. You're. I'm just saying you're a very
fucking
interesting
therapy
guy.
session?
Well, the reason I'm leading into something. I saw you went on Theo's or not Theo. Was it Bobby Lee?
Yeah.
And what's the ginger's name?
Carlito's Way.
Santino. Cheeto Santino.
Yep.
He's going to kill me. I know him. Fuck. You were talking about how you feel about yourself radiates. There's a clip I saved it because I resonated with it. And you seem like really dialed in recently, dude.
Yeah. I mean, that's probably like a culmination of seeing it's like I had to see myself back from how I came off, and I didn't really. I was always like, anytime I see clips of myself like back in the day, I'm like, who the fuck is that guy?
Really?
Yeah, because he's a shapeshifter too. That's
like,
another you know what I'm saying? He's changed so many times.
I mean,
evolved.
I mean, your cells regenerate every 7 years anyway, so you literally are a different person. Even physically, you're a different person than you were 7 years ago. So, I mean, mentally for me though, 7 years ago, I was on cocaine and any drug you could imagine, and like that isn't the case anymore. So when you say like I come across grounded, or I know that's like a new revelation for me and a new version of myself that I just met. But this is like a lot more true to who I was. I mean, maybe not though. I mean, I kind of even, when I reconnected with my mom, she was like, dude, you were the most emotional baby I've ever met. Like I always was like trying to get, I was really, I don't know, my bipolarity was heavy from like the day I came out. I was really sad, then I'd be really happy. And I always was trying to like get away from who I was always like a character player. Like there was pictures of me for like 3 years when I was a kid where I would wear like anything on my head that like resembled a pterodactyl bill.
Okay.
Because I was like, I'm a pterodactyl.
Okay.
And then
you're certainly shaped like one. You're kind of tall and lanky.
Yeah, I'm more like brontosaurus, like the neck of a brontosaurus.
Yeah.
But,
was this still when you were living in fucking Egypt?
Yeah, I was.
Like,
yeah,
bro.
Yeah.
Out of all the stuff that exists in your storyline, Logan's gonna ask you if you have any hot takes on the pyramids. Like, I did not know this interview was gonna go there. What the hell?
Which I do have hot takes on the pyramids.
I knew you did. I knew you did. Yeah, I'm reading my PDF. It said the first 4 years of your life you lived in Egypt.
Yeah, which kills me because anytime something Cleveland comes up, there will always be like one just really douchey, angry old white dude who's like, he was born in Texas. And it's like, I lived there for 1.5 weeks until my baby body could sustain a flight. That was a 19-hour flight to Africa. So I'm also African.
That's crazy.
That makes it even more.
Which is another controversial take for the Cleveland argument, So but even to that point, my first job was in Cleveland. I lost my virginity in Cleveland. First person I saw got shot was in Cleveland. First mixtape I put out was in Cleveland. Like, home is where the heart is, So Cleveland
Home is where those shots ring out.
And 100%. When you see a man's brain splatter in front of you right before you go to open up for Gucci, man, like that.
This happened?
Dude, I was 15 or 16 years old, dude. It was in front of the Metropolis. I'll never forget this. And all the club promoters know me here because they used to have to call my dad and like make up excuses so that I could stay late enough to open for the artist that was performing. You know what I mean? And so, but that I'm just my point is, the argument of like being born somewhere, while at the same time a sports player from the middle of nowhere who only spent time in Cleveland making money and just playing for our team, the welcoming they have. Versus someone who I bled so much passion and pride in these streets in Cleveland. Like that's something you can never take away from me. I'm Cleveland to the death.
Yeah, man.
But back to Africa.
Well, I want to hear your hot take on the pyramids.
They were built with frequency. Like those stones were literally picked up with levitated. Like they still. I don't know why this isn't even publicized, but there were dishes, right, round, massive sized bowls. Discovered all around the perimeter of the pyramid, in which I love this study of this guy who he went. I don't know if he had cancer. I don't know what it was, but he essentially, this is in the early 1900s, so like 1920s era. He went over to Tibet or to India, somewhere in East Asia, and he got footage of them because he was embraced by them because to fix his sickness or something like that. And he was embraced by them, and they trusted him enough to show them this process of how they pick these massive cylinders up, and they would have yaks drag the blocks over these big bowls, and then they would point giant horns and huge drums. Like all the sound was focused, maybe in like a half cylinder like this towards this one point. and they would play it and they would chant and they would hum, and the stones would lift and it would go to this place in the cliff where they wanted it to go. So like the bowls would essentially catch the sound and the frequency would lift it. And if you even listen to the building of the pyramids, they all talk about there was chanting. You know, that was a very common through line. And it wasn't like they were singing on some, you know, early Disney's movies like hi ho type shit, you know. So like I 100% believe that frequency has something to do with that. Even if you just go to concerts themselves, look at people when they cry, or look at people when a song is playing, the absolute loss of everything around them, how they're just so like it's like a church service.
When the music hits, you feel no pain.
Dude, when I did ayahuasca, and for those who ever do that, if you go do it and there's not someone singing, like it's not the proper way, like there has to be someone. Mine, they were Peruvian shamans, and they would go to each individual person and speak straight to your crown chakra, and they would sing these. They would channel whatever your body as energy brought to them, and they would sing. And when they hit a certain note, dude, your body uncontrollably would just start purging. It would just start puking, and I could tell. You know, when Megan and I did it, we were separated, but I could tell when the shaman was singing to her. Like you could, even though you can't see anybody because it's a pitch black room, I could tell whenever it was her song, and you would hear when they hit a frequency, like it would resonate with different people in the room because people would puke at different times.
So it's like a symphony of puking, basically.
Yeah, each person gets their own song
to puke to.
But a frequency would make 3 different people puke at the same time. Like they would hit a certain note, and then all of a sudden everybody would just purge.
And would those people that puked to the same sound wave, would they like kind of congregate as that level of puker?
Well, you're in your own zone. So no, I don't think after you puked, I don't think anyone in mid trip just got up and was like, Kate went and shook hands like, hey, we both puked at the same. Now go back to your trip. I'm gonna go back, but that was cool that we puked at the same.
Yes. When did you do? Because I want
Megan knew everyone. The one commonality in that room after everyone would calm down and come down, and you all met at a star deck later. Not everybody, because we're all strangers, but everybody was like, "Oh, I knew when you were puking." I guess I was the loudest puker.
Yeah.
And also the shaman, the shaman gave me the most dose of anybody. So I was it was 22 people. They of course waited for me last, which was just such a like God-given like test of like your patience and anxiety is so fucked. I'm gonna now make you wait this hour process to get to you just to get your dosage.
You got iced.
I got iced.
You.
And when I went up there and I sat, there was a translator for the shamans, and the shaman was told the lady there's something I forgot what the exact way she said it. It was really haunting, but a giant black shadow, right? Like a dark.
I've heard this before.
And she was like, he needs
the most.
He needs the most.
Whoa. So okay, so you did this in Peru.
I did that in Costa Rica in the jungles.
Costa Rica.
Yeah.
What do you attribute in terms of change in personality and being an identity from that ceremony? How many times have you done it?
4 times.
In a hunt for separation from ego, from self?
No, that was a specific. I went specifically for something that I have not reached a point like where I'm comfortable talking about.
Cool.
And like, did I achieve that? No, I maybe. I mean, I know I started like finally. Like there was one person ever that I like talked to about what I went in search of. I've had to learn to like rewire myself from my childhood, like of things that I wasn't ever okay admitting to myself, right? So like maybe it helped me actually be able to get to the point where I like didn't black any of that out.
Got it.
But I know when I went there, I mean, dude, the first night I was in like a mud hell where like fingers were like popping out and like I puked my dad's body parts up. And
I've heard it's an insane experience. I've been talking to a lot of people about it lately. We were talking about it yesterday. You know, a number of really, you know, big celebs, athletes, you know, creators, whatever.
Jake
use
swears
it.
by it.
Yeah.
oh, does he?
Swears by
Yeah.
it, dude. He's like, everyone needs to do this. And I believe another creator we know said it was like one of the most important
I don't
things.
know if he talks about it publicly, but he told me recently, he was like, I cannot believe it exists, and it changed my entire outlook, and it led him to a to a massive overcoming a massive like life pain and trauma. And I think that's really what it's best for, is just kind of overcoming all that trauma that's kind of just sits inside of you.
There's an interesting thing about it because I think like in mainstream media we hear that part, right, which is that it's like this like really cleansing or like helps me with like ego death or all, whatever, you know, like what you said. But there's also the aspect which I learned, which is like you can unlock. This is clearly how so many people, especially, you know, down there in South America, like that route for sure showed them what plants did what, right? Like that, like, and this full circles back to the pyramids thing, because if you think about primal people, like those ages where it's like, how did anybody know in this forest of millions of different species of plants and animals, like how did anybody just figure out what does what? Because the trial and error of taking different leaves and being like, I'm gonna put this on
could be
this,
fatal.
and it's insane. And also same with when you think of like Chinese face mapping, which is extremely accurate, right? You can't convince me that some dude just like trial and errored personality traits from millions of people's faces for like, it would take so many different lifetimes and generations of people. Someone like information is unlocked through these practices, right? Like ayahuasca for sure showed the people of South America, this plant is good, this plant is bad, use it. Cause I felt that on the second night where I was like, you saw the web of I saw like the math of the world. And my frequency is much less than the people back then, before phones ever got into people's minds, before all this, you know,
information like overload.
Yeah, we're so overstimulated, right? So all of our frequencies, no matter how much we could try to unlock, they're way different than back then, because all they had to do was like learn. They enjoyed the sun, like
there's 10 people in their village. That's the only people they know.
So these roots, like what it did for them was insane. I say the same thing. It's almost like in Norwegian culture, like in my culture, with like the runes, like stuff that I have on my fingers, right? These are essentially like, these are magic, right? These are casting spells, right? And these runes were unlocked. I mean, this obviously is mythology, and I'm sure some of it is folklore, but there's always some truth in this. How like the ayahuasca unlocked this for the South Americans, but like with the runes, they say Odin hung upside down from the tree of life for 9 days and 9 nights, and that essentially, that whether it's the blood rush or whatever it was, like took him into a state, an altered state, which showed him the magic of what the runes mean and how to like, why they put them on the shields. Like this is a spell protecting you, or this will, you know, give you bravery, or this will help your sword swing, you know, more accurately. And so I think there's something about with the Egyptians and just with that mystery of sound. To me, that is 100%.
It also seems achievable. It's like a theory that makes sense.
Have you watched sand on a metal plate when they play a frequency? Have you watched the beautiful shapes that sand makes when you play frequency?
Yep.
Have you thought about the fact that in the Bible, when they talk about the walls of Jericho come down, you're talking about, what was it, like 20? I forgot how thick the stones were. But do you realize that they talk about the people outside that broke the walls of Jericho down were just like playing horns?
That's insane.
Like,
how do you go from Colson? How do you go from Apollo Theater, Rap Devil, like era shit,
Those
to-
are
to-
such wide different.
whatever,
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
You know, like that. Like I'm trying to put a mark in time of like Cleveland's own,
Right.
fully tatted, going crazy, machine gun, rapid fire,
Uh-huh.
you know, beats to this now awakened, enlightened individual. What was the kind of inflection point where that started? There's a big difference between those two
That's
people.
actually very weird. That's a good point.
You never thought about that?
No,
Were you a manifester?
Well, you can't-
Like I was with you the other night outside the. I'll talk about the story.
this
that
was
happened the other
insane.
night.
Yeah.
We were outside Cleveland hotspot called Town Hall the other night, just having just a conversation. You're very, very excited about your current trajectory, about Lonely Road, you know, your new single with Jelly Roll. And you're like, yo, I think this is, I think there's a good chance this could be my first overall #1 and potentially even a Grammy. People are really digging it, loving it. And I could see it in you. Like I could really see that you believed in it, you loved it, you love your current, like where you're at right now. And as soon as you finished that sentence, the song came on.
It was
It was
insane.
instantaneous.
Whoa.
And we just both looked at each other and it was like one of those manifesting universal moments. Whereas someone like me, I'm still in your 2011 body. I need to be convinced of this type of shit. I need to be convinced that this disillusionment is not a thing, that magic does exist in this world if you believe in it and you're able to manifest it. I need those evidence points from you. But were they always in you?
"2011, who was your favorite rapper growing up?" DMX. Right after that, I was in the studio with DMX. They said DMX doesn't get in the studio with anybody. DMX came to my studio. We stayed up till 9 in the morning, went to Denny's in the morning after the studio session.
I've done that with you before.
Yeah.
It wasn't after studio
Yeah,
session.
yeah.
Some
Yeah.
Late
You
night,
are
late
not.
night.
You are not DMX, my
Early
friend.
morning. Well, I'm just saying, no, but, you know,
yeah,
I appreciate the early morning breakfast with Colton. Yeah, come on, bro. We went to that one breakfast spot.
Yeah.
It was sick. But no, your life has unfolded in a crazy way. Not to hijack your answer, but
But I'm gonna.
well, unless you had more to say. I mean, like it sounds like you're talking about manifestation of just how your life has changed. But as someone who also grew up in Cleveland and has watched the different chapters of your career literally since the beginning, bro. I'm talking about like you inspired me and Jake to have a meetup at Strongsville Mall because you did that as well and shut down Strongsville Mall. I remember my cousin, MGK's from Cleveland. I'm a wild boy. We were going crazy to your shit. And then
Yeah.
you just keep getting more and more famous and so were we. And it was cool to kind of like see another kid from Cleveland just making it and just being an artist. And I'm getting somewhere with this. It's going to take a second. In that same clip where you talked about radiating, you talked about having that ego death. You also talked about and came to terms with what I perceived as you just being an artist, and you're kind of up for interpretation. And otherwise, if everyone would just always liked you all the time, like that's boring. There's no story there. And I've seen from day one, damn near the different chapters of your life. Up until you even buying my house, bro. Like we like the paths have intersected and it's been so cool. And I remember one day at your Christmas concert, man, this had to be 4 or 5 years ago. You were rapping still. You hadn't made the Rockstar shift. And someone said one of your boys was like, he's hyping you up. He's like, he's the greatest rock star of our generation. I'm watching you do these fucking dance moves, play guitar, throw the microphone 50 feet in the air, catch it behind your back. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker might be a rock star. Why? How is he? He's rapping, but I think he's a rock star. And then you made that transition into rock and you fucking crushed it. And everyone at the same time was like, oh, he is a rock star. And everyone started to like wake up to this new version of you. And then you had this brand new relationship. And now recently, the blacked out tattoos. I know I covered a lot of ground there, but it's like you really are an artist to the core, bro. And your life is just like chapter after chapter. And as a fan, it's so cool to see you evolve. You're very good at evolving. But the impetus of what I'm saying is it doesn't sound like for you, you really had that like conscious shift where you were like, this is it. I'm doing rock now. But
Nah.
but it seemed like that's when this next level MGK was reached, at least in my opinion from a fan?
I know, like in a chart reading before, they said in 2012 that that was the year I was supposed to be as big as I am now, but I blocked that blessing. And it's ironic because 2012 was the year that I got signed and had put out, my first record, and that's when Wild Boy was going crazy. And like there was a potential for me if I wouldn't have blocked that blessing. How did I block my blessing? Uppers and downers. Uppers and downers, dude. And drowning myself in Jameson whiskey over and over again, and making sure that I was positive everyone wanted to see another recreation of all of the 2000s rock stars. And I include rappers in that too, right? Which was just like Attitude and like the MTV era where you could like play a character and that resonated. But that wasn't who I am. Like honestly, I'm a very shy dude, but my defense is so high because the offense seems always so against me. It's like when I was in the ring yesterday, just coming to say what's up to Logan and see what we could work out for the show, and I saw Randy Orton. And I remember seeing Randy Orton, talk shit about me, and I was like, there's a point where I'm like, I'm gonna practice like a new version of myself, and then at 3, 2, 1, I'm like, fuck that, hey man, fuck you.
Wait, really?
Yeah, you didn't. I don't know where you were,
that.
but I remember all my boys were sitting there like,
oh no. Oh no.
Is this real? What is this part of the script? I don't know what's happening, but it's the amount of people that pin me as the aggressor in every situation that I'm in are so wrong. Like I do nothing but commit myself to art, and there's another funny factor of just like the art of me standing or existing makes people furious. And
I saw one of them. I don't know
which one?
The Strickland one.
I don't know this guy from a crumb of bread, right? I didn't know who he was when I met him. I got hip afterward that he's like insanely racist and homophobic and just not my type of guy, so I would have never even wanted to shake hands with him in the first place. But he also is just a representative of every person who's too scared to just be themselves, because if you're comfortable as yourself, you don't care who anybody else is and how they are.
Agreed. I'd met him that night too, and I can't say anything bad because my experience was vastly different because I'm not you, and he didn't have a visceral reaction. We shook hands. It was very cordial. We talked for like 5 minutes and I walked away. But I know of everything that he exists as on Twitter, and he fits very nicely into that community of exactly what you just said, which is kind of intolerance and just desire to spew hatred.
He's so dumb that I'm going to tell him right now, you should not keep saying stuff because it just makes me look better, but you're going to keep saying stuff. So I know that you'll react and say more things, but you just shouldn't. As a person who's just giving you big bro advice, learn this. Shut the fuck up and don't speak on me anymore and live your life. But you won't, and I'm going to continue laughing at you because you're a fucking idiot.
I just felt bad for Dingo.
Dingo's an idiot.
Dingo,
I love him. But
Dingo introduced them.
Yeah,
and he's
it's a wrap. It's a wrap.
The fangs.
Okay.
No, go. You were gonna say something?
No, the fangs.
The fangs?
No, thanks. Yeah, I approached you yesterday. You had an amethyst crystal in your hand.
Yeah.
Just saw it, immediately connected to it. I love amethyst. It's the one crystal I actually really resonate towards. When Crystal Hunting had the whole conversation, I noticed your fangs. They're real.
Yeah, the fangs are real, yeah.
Dude, crazy. Well, how'd you commit to that? You said your boys say I will suck your blood.
That was hilarious. my friend called me on FaceTime yesterday and said that. Like, I will suck your blood like that.
Yeah,
bro. I was just at my dentist, who's a good friend of mine, and I had been, telling him I need my teeth sharpened and I need fangs added into my mouth.
It doesn't affect your speech at all?
It affects me closing my mouth.
Really?
I'm an insane grinder when I sleep, and I wake up every single day with a headache because my teeth can't grind, and they just I don't know what they do, and But again, to me, art is above life to me. Like, my job is to entertain, and my job is art. Like, I would live and die for this. That's why when you bring up, you know, that people were calling me a rock star before I was actually making rock music, but it somehow made sense. It's because, you know, being a rock star is aura. It's much bigger than a genre. It's lifestyle. Look at Lil Wayne. You can't tell me that's not a rock star.
Yeah.
And when, you know, I remember when I made the controversial take that got so many people in the rock community mad, when I was saying, you know, all these bands are up there just wearing comfy shoes. They got furious, but I was like, that does piss me off, because I'm a person of the people. Like, I'm for the fans, and as a fan, I don't want you to come out in sweatpants. I don't want you to be comfy. I don't want you to like do what's comfortable for you. I want you to come out and entertain the kids. And so, backlash, you know, we've been doing this, or they have to do this for this many years, or it's not about that, it's about music. No, the record's about music. Go home and listen to the CD.
Yeah.
I don't care what they're wearing when they make the album.
Yeah.
But when you're putting on a show, it's literally called a show.
Yeah, show.
What are you going to go to a burlesque show, and those people that I've seen, they put their bodies through some of the most insane flexible positions, or things where they're holding their entire bodies up with their elbow in their ribs, and and you're talking about, or ballet dancers. They don't have the option of being comfortable. So I this really all related back to one specific concert where I watched kids get frostbite from sitting. This was in Edmonton. It was so cold outside, and their feet got wet from the snow, which turned into mud, which gave people frostbite because they were standing there for so long to see this headliner that I was opening. And this person came out like he just woke up out of bed, and he was perfectly comfortable, but every single person in the crowd was, and they don't get to leave and be like, that was that show where he wore that crazy whatever it was, and that was so cool. He came out, and you looked like, is that him? Like, is this sound check? What is this? And to me, when you saw Axl Rose in the super short shorts, or you see Tommy Lee in his Speedos, or you see, you know, Lil Wayne in his truck fit with his pants all the way, it's just about a show. So you got to miss me with the but the technicalities of the music, and it's about that. It's like,
yeah,
I don't agree with you. I think if you're a person of the people, you're there to, you know, impress and put on an art show, and it's not art to have your feet comfortable.
But you also actually became a rock star. Like, it wasn't even just like the way you described Lil Wayne.
I was a rock star when I was on Warped Tour in 2010,
Facts.
right? Like in 2010, when I was on Ernie Ball stage performing for the 15 people that would stop and watch our show, passing between Pierce the Veil and
Taking Back Sunday.
For the 15 people that would watch us at a truck stage that would fold out into a little stage for me to stand on, I was a rock star then. In 2011, when we were loading our drums out of our van and putting it on that stage and covering Blink 182, and then at the same time, me rapping over Break Your Neck by Busta Rhymes instrumental, like, I was a rock star then. Me coming out with the 6-inch mohawk at the same time that I had a huge rap record with Wild Boy, I was a rock star then. This is just, it's a for whatever reason, dude, I've been chosen to just be on the cross and getting stabbed.
No,
over
but
and
I
over
disagree.
again.
I disagree. I think, I don't want to say you're polarizing, but I think you're a certain flavor of ice cream that people really fucking love, and maybe some people just don't. But the thing that it always comes back to for an artist like you is your art. You're undeniably great, bro. And I get reminded of this every once in a while, like that a pistolero, like freestyle, you just like did on the cusp.
Yeah.
Actually in front of the eucalyptus tree in the backyard. That was like the reason that I bought that house.
That's why I bought that house too.
No fucking way.
The eucalyptus tree?
Yeah. Wait, actually?
Dog, I walked into the back of this house. The person is like, oh, the owner of this house says you've been here before. And I'm like, it is weird because it's really familiar. I looked at this tree.
Yeah.
And I said, I'll take the house.
Yep. You sent me a selfie. You said, I think I'll buy your house, sir.
Yes.
And I was like, dude, this is perfect. Oh my God. The tree.
It wasn't the conversation pit?
It was the tree. And then the conversation pit was next. You're an idiot.
You did not have to. You did not have to suffer.
Logan.
You did not have
was
to
right.
suffer.
I was right.
Logan was right.
Everyone talks so much shit.
That was
I put that
months
conversation
of agony, bro. Jackhammers at 6 a.m.
4
for
weeks.
Weeks on end, bro. And we use that thing maybe like twice.
That's
every
I
day.
know you use it all
Every
the
day.
That's so nuts,
Bro,
dude.
yesterday I go, Colson, do you ever use the conversation pit? And he lit up. He's like, dude, I've had the deepest conversations there, 3 a.m. It makes me so happy because my roommates, my friends, you guys toasted me. And also, we never used it. I even didn't really like it that much.
It was the color that you guys chose. You had like gray suede.
Yeah, he's
Yeah,
made
I
so
didn't do
many
it right.
changes. Bro, have you seen what he's done with the house?
I haven't.
Oh, it's
I
insane.
do have
It's
to.
insane.
I do
What
have
do
to
you
go
call
by.
it again?
The Cheshire Cottage.
That's amazing. That's amazing. But yeah, the tree was incredible. It's why it's like, and anyways, Pistolero, this freestyle you're doing in front of there. Because the other thing is, bro, you play the instruments as well, which is kind of like a lost art. More than one. Like all of them. And your flow live or seeing it like no cuts or anything is just incredible. So while people, I don't know. I think
But people then go, oh, but the MPC isn't plugged in. That was one of the that was where the comments went. It was so good. The rap was so clean. The vibe was so clean. They went, oh, but the MPC isn't plugged in. It's an MPC Live 2, my friends. There is a portable speaker and it's called batteries. There is no plugs needed.
They're NPCs. That's why they're saying
and you are an NPC.
yeah.
That was
but people are gonna try to discredit.
No, but I know.
Yeah.
But I know that it all boils down to one root, and I'm sure you'll agree with this. It's white hip hop.
oh,
Bro,
yeah,
when you
100%.
come on, when you come on in white hip hop, you are automatically discredited. You are automatically put on the cross that he described earlier. You are automatically a culture stealer, appropriator, whatever the fuck it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? And he's had to battle that the whole time.
I won't deny that there is a subconscious stigma around that. Being white in hip hop, it is like, and it's almost, to me, it's so funny because the streets fuck with me so tough. It's honestly from other white people that give me the most shit.
It always is.
And so
It
like,
always is, yo.
that, and then the crazy thing is there's only been one who's done it.
Yep.
There's only been one who's done it and crossed that line of we accept.
Acceptance, yep.
And so
Shut up, Vanilla Ice.
exactly. My boy, Van Winkle. And so I think, that's the goal. And, to me, I crossed that, but, always up for conversation. And, that's a reality that gives me hunger that I need to continue.
But also
keep going.
At the end of the day, like it almost doesn't. I'm sure it matters so much to you, but like to someone like me or to a lot of the fans, it's like then you bring out you drop tickets to my downfall, and like for me, I'm listening to that for the first time. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? What am I every workout I'm in the gym, bro? I'm like, wait, this is an award-winning single. Next song comes on. This is Jawbreaker, songs that people just bypass almost, like end of the album type shit. I'm hitting you up. I'm like, yo, can I put this in the back of my YouTube video? This is my favorite fucking song.
Yeah.
Just brought on a whole new genre. Now, we didn't even talk about this yet. Little country twang with Jelly Roll and Lonely Road. You're able to just keep kind of reinventing and evolving into these new genres. I want to hear a little bit about the Jelly Roll collab because it's like the biggest thing in your life right now. I would say, or one of them, right? Like, how did that? I got the pleasure of meeting Jelly Roll last night. He's potentially one of the sweetest, most positive, incredible people, both in the personality that he puts out online in legislature for addiction and the way he speaks about that community, but also in real life. I mean, meeting him last night was incredible. What has that experience been like for you?
My favorite time I've had with him was going to the juvenile that he was locked up in. Me and him went there. I walked in immediately. The officer that had locked him up was the officer there, and so he's telling me all these stories about Jelly. I love this one story where he was like, "Man, I locked Jelly up one time, and he was in that cell right there, and he just wouldn't talk for days. And then I just went up to him and was like, you know, what's wrong, Bubba?" And he was like, "Man, I just miss my mama."
Oh.
And the Jelly that you know now, but then sitting in those, you know, in those cells with all the kids and imagining 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old Jelly in there, the inspirational kind of that feeling of watching this man now smiling, wearing all these diamonds, being the man, seeing, you know, the kinship between him and that officer now, seeing the respect that all the kids have for him. I mean, it was an out-of-body experience because that's how a lot of people are when they come with me to Cleveland, right? And they're always like, "Man, there's just city just loves you so much. I just don't get it." What and so I got to experience that with Jelly, and Jelly's even more intense just because of his prison sentence, right? And so, and then we just went into the different pods, and I just whooped all the kids' asses on spades. My bad. But
what about the project?
The song. I mean, that was one. You know, when I was in the back of a pickup truck with Bays, Charlie Handsome, who's a really big producer, especially in the country world. We were at Jeff Basker's house. Jeff Basker is a producer. He did like fucking. He's a drum god, right? He's the reason why. I don't know if it was Yeezus or Beautiful Dark Twisted Fate. He was the reason why those drums sounded the way they did. It was Yeezus, right? Yeah, those drums, which. My God, like that was that Basker sound. And so we were up there recording, and he was like, "You guys want to go to the beach?" We're like, "Yeah, let's just get out the studio for a little bit." And we just hopped on the back of a pickup truck, and we're riding down the road. And we were like, "Man, there's no one out here or whatever." And, you know, Bay just starts going, "Country road." And then it just, for whatever reason, because there was no one out there, we were just like, "Lonely road, take me home." And we got to the beach, and we were like, "Hey, remember that?" We were just doing all the pickup. That was kind of fire. Like, should we try that? So we went back to the studio. We did it. And when I say we did it, we did like 4 lines or something, and then moved on to another song. I knew there was something really special there, but that song is also one of the great, like Country Roads is one of the greatest songs.
It's incredible.
All time.
We have jammed out to that song for years to the highest degree at the craziest moments. There's never a bad time to play that song.
Which is why I was so precious with it, which is why I took 2 years changing the key so many times, going for a frequency that would resonate when you hear it, right? So like at first, my voice is really low. It's very baritone. So like the keys were lower. It would be F sharp, or it would, you know, I was just going for lower keys, and every time it came on, I'd be like, and I kept pushing for it. And then, you know, Jelly and I had a kinship because me and him used to beef. We didn't fuck with each other at all. This is like 12 years ago or something like that. And we had become friends, and he and I at the same time during the Tickets to My Downfall, you know, he and I had talked, and he was like, "Dude, I'm really inspired by you doing this. Like, I'm going to tap into country, like where my roots are from, like that this feels right. You kind of open this whole door up." And I was like, okay, Jelly will be great for this song. I wouldn't tell him though, because he's a country dude, and I didn't want to tell anybody that I was flipping country roads because they would be like, "Fuck off."
Yeah. Not doing it.
So anyway, I worked the guitar over and over again because I was like, I can't come out with this country. It can't be like blatant country. Now it's funny because Post in the past 2 years, while I was doing Lonely Road, Post did this, and so the whole time I'm thinking, I'm like, fucking people are gonna fucking say that I'm just
dick riding,
following this, you know, like, and I had to like humbly sit there while for years I've been curating this song, no, like knowing that I'm gonna get like I'm gonna have to fight against something here, but I'm in the car with Jelly after the Grammys, right? We both lost the Grammys, and I know he's feeling down or whatever, so I call him. I'm like, "Where are you at?" He's like, "Man, I'm rolling over here. Like, come meet me." So I go meet him. He and I get in his car, which is so funny. He's driving himself. I'm like, "You drove yourself to the Grammys, dude?" He's like, "Man, I'm so white trash. I can't get it out of me, man."
Just like street parking.
Dude, we were parallel parking. I mean, we were pulling up to parties like looking for parking spots. and he's the biggest act of the night, you know, besides like Taylor Swift or something. Like we were just like so and this is true, like it's so funny. We rode by the Chateau and I was like, oh, there's a big line there, it's probably a party, we should go there. Dude, we were up and down the street, we parked far as fuck.
No
like
way,
up this, I was like, we could just valet. He's like, nah, we'll park this up here, blah, blah, like
he ain't changed at all.
At all. And so I'm in the car with him and I get the aux cord, and dude, that same thing like that took over when it told me to black out my tattoos, or when it told me like Tickets to My Downfall is the name. Like when like those moments of when the universe is telling you something, it told me play Lonely Road, like the demo of Lonely Road. I pressed play and he was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Man, it's just calling you." And he was like, "I'm on it."
Sick.
And then he got on it, and then I made him recut it 8,000 more times because I was so precious with the Country Roads flip, and we were doing it in different keys. And then, yeah, I mean, dude, I just want people to know I really, really was cautious with the way that we flipped it. And I also didn't want to make it an American landscape song, like how John Denver, like, you know, speaks on the Chattanooga and all these just beautiful things. Like he already did that. So I needed to make it my own. And I think the way that I did it, it can, you know, I explained this a little bit in the video I posted, but it's not a heartbreak song. It's a conversation with yourself. Like none of it is like to your partner, which it comes across like you're talking to someone, but it's all like talking to yourself. So if you go back and listen to it from that perspective, it's actually really cool.
Dude.
Did you ever have a rat problem with the house?
Dude, you say that and I'm stressing, bro, because like I don't know if it's like I thought you were joking.
No, I go yesterday. I go.
You knew about this?
I go. Did you ever figure out the rats? He goes. Didn't know about that. And I go. Oh, then you're probably good.
I have 3 cats that are absolutely.
Oh, you're chilling.
Savage.
You're chilling, dude.
I've seen my cat, like that one of my Bengals. And Tommy, I have to call Tommy Lee and Brittany all the time for their bird fixer person. Because my cats snatch birds out the air.
No way.
Like it's
Whoa. Sport.
Buck hunter.
Have you noticed them getting any fatter off all the rats?
No, he said there's no rats anymore.
I don't.
Yeah, because
Mac right there.
Because the cat killed them all. The cats killed them all.
That dude had a rat crawl in the window and land on his face while he was sleeping. Woke up to a rat on his face.
Yeah, that's
it.
true.
Traumatized him, changed his life.
You gotta look up like Native American meanings of what that means, or something like indigenous, and see what the meaning is, because there's probably something. Either it's like that might be why you're successful in art. It might be like you're gonna this means financial success is coming to you.
It's definitely what it means, Mac.
When a rat crawls on your
100%.
face.
Yeah.
100%. Do you record bangers in that studio?
I do.
Oh, you use it?
I recorded El Pistolero in there.
Let's fucking go.
I recorded my final vocals of Lonely Road in that house.
Dude, I'm so glad you got that house, because you're using it the right way. Like, why did I make a studio, dude? I'm not doing art.
I was telling
what am I doing?
You did it perfect, because it was all lined up. Bro, we got to keep it there, and you know why we have to protect that? Why we have to keep it? We have to keep it because of that tree. Like, I don't trust that someone will get that house and be like, get this tree out of here.
No.
That tree uprooted a lot of fucking sidewalks, dude.
I had to do maintenance on it, because it's like have a tree doctor check it out like regularly.
Oh yeah, the rock.
It's fine, but I did have to. You'll notice I had to cut some branches because
you have to save the tree.
You're probably good for another 5-10 years.
Okay,
but yeah, dude, the fact that you and Megan got that house is
Does LA still? Did you fall in love with Los Angeles? Is that why you're there? Are you there for work, or are you one of the people? Because for me, dude, when I went there for the first time, I said, I've never been anywhere like this before. I think I'm going to be here forever. It really like grabbed me. And obviously over the past, as we talked about privately, we don't have to get into specifics, but over the past 3 to 5 years, it's been having some problems. There's been some issues there. And it's been also getting a really bad rap from the general public. Do you still love LA?
I like my house here in Cleveland a lot more. Here is always my favorite place, and I don't say that because it's the right thing to say. I say that because I mean it. But I don't like LA anymore because I don't do cocaine.
Right? It seems so hard to evolve as a human in that city. Yeah.
It's almost it's almost like I loved when I went to LA and would run the strip. Like I loved being on Sunset. I loved the lure of how every rock star, pivotal pop culture, how Elton John was in this room and then would go and write Rocket Man. Oh, I loved how, even me as playing Tommy Lee in the Motley Crue movie.
God, I forgot you're a
insane
fucking actor too.
Dude,
Bird Box?
Bird Box
Bro,
was
what
insane.
the, bro, I
like
see
a
MGK in these
fantastic
movies.
actor.
I'm like, what?
Fantastic
No
actor,
way.
dude.
Thank you, man.
Dog,
Yeah.
shit, we don't have enough time
But
with this guy.
I love the strip. My point with that was I love the strip, and the food is good.
The food is.
They have good Michelin star restaurants.
Did you always feel the way I did that LA, even though it's like the sunniest, warmest place, it just has an innate darkness in it?
It's the darkest place.
Potentially
it's
the darkest
fucking,
place.
It's the city of lost angels, dude.
Agreed.
It's absolutely the most. I've watched people get sucked up and watch their cheeks get sucked in and look like they're ghouls and goblins now. And I was like, yo, you were just a human last time I saw you. And then I would realize, me and Slim and all the boys fell out for a while just because of, my addiction problems. And they were like, who are these people that you kick it with? And then I started realizing, like, dude, I don't ever see you before 11:30 p.m. And also, like, I don't know your job. What do you do? And then also, I don't know your name for real, And like, I would be having just like the longest conversations or just nice, whatever, just jaws moving, like,
5 a.m. after party,
dude,
LA combos.
I played I played tickets to my downfall for, I mean, dude, 1,000 people that I will never see again in my life. You know what I mean? And then I see now when I go back out, if I'm ever out, I'm like, I feel like a parent or something.
It's also not the. It's also not the same. It's not the. I remember
it was cool. It was cool.
LA
There was a scene.
big
There was a scene.
There was. I feel like when we actually first met, we went to a Dan Bilzerian Halloween party.
Yep.
I feel like that was like a solid time in LA.
No, that was maxed out.
That was like right
for our generation.
Yep, I agree.
I think that was like the version of, the Steve McQueen, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Leonardo DiCaprio character playing whatever his character was in that movie. Like that was like that. It was like the Playboy Mansion or something.
Right,
that
right,
was
right,
that
right.
version of going and seeing, like, holy shit, this is what they talked about.
Yeah.
My favorites though was on the Rocks, above the Roxy,
Of course.
where John Lennon and John Belushi and fuck, I'm blanking. But all those guys in the 70s, they would live there. Like, I think when John and Yoko broke up, like, I think John lived in that room, which is in the hidden room where we would just go and
Well, that was always
do blow all the time.
That was
like
always your
that
type of vibe.
I love, dude. I love dive bar, cultured. The crystals in the chandelier in that room. That's the amount of shit those crystals have seen.
Yeah.
And it was honestly like everyone just went, whether they were painters, singers, models, whatever. It felt so like Andy Warhol in that room, right? It felt so like it was everyone, you know, did something, or it was, I loved that scene. And that was where I would play a lot of my records that ended up blowing. Was I would, you could go there and you could see MGK DJing and like hear like brand new songs while in the mix of also listening to like the Killers or whatever new hot rap shit is going on or whatever. Like, yeah, I liked the balance between being able to go and see like, oh, this is our version of like the Playboy Mansion, and then going and seeing like just all the scene kids.
Well,
you know?
that area of the strip, like that Viper Room, like that
It's
area
insane.
is like the cool spot.
Yeah.
That's where Tal did his 40th birthday at Roxy, right?
Yeah.
I got a question that I don't want to come off disrespectful, I want I just want to ask it the right way.
You're icing them. It's like the ayahuasca ceremony all over.
All right, look. So like, okay, when you started dating Megan Fox, was there a part of you that was like, damn, I'm dating the girl from Transformers, Megan Fox, and like, I just achieved the dream of every single guy in the world? Because you understand, every kid growing up, Megan Fox was it.
The hood open on the car in the Transformers movie. That's a scene
I
that
have
they
a wife.
always use.
I have a wife.
Yeah.
I think.
Bro, like I know you were stoked. Admit it. Be Colson for a second. I'm Logan. I'm Colson. I'm Logan. You're Colson.
I was stoked.
And you, yeah, come on, bro. Come on, you did it, bro. You did it. I'm proud of you, dude. That's crazy.
I went to my friend Rook, and I was like, man, they offered me this like really small movie part in what is probably going to be a shitty movie, but Megan is in it. And he was like, if you don't get on that fucking plane right now and go meet your future wife, like go do that. And that was, I mean, that was the script did not sell me on that movie.
Yeah.
And something just like ayahuasca, the way that it calls you, there was something calling me to go do that. And that was where I met that was where I met my one.
That's crazy, man.
But I mean, also to be candid, I went to the Tower City movie theater and saw Transformers for the first time here, and I walked out and I was obviously massively in love. So you're correct.
Full circle.
Dude,
Full circle.
also, not to just keep intertwining paths, you guys proposed in my neighborhood in Puerto Rico.
That was wild.
Down the street from me.
Yeah,
At the tree in front of the spa.
Yeah, he texted me right after and
At
was
the
like,
tree in front of the spa with the cobblestones?
Yes.
At the Ritz spa?
Yes.
The best spa in the world, by the way.
Bro, you here? Did you left?
it's a banyan tree.
It is a banyan tree.
That's
That's a
crazy.
very special place, dude. How did you scout that?
Yeah.
Why did you do it there?
Why did you do that?
Banyan trees to us, I mean, they stand. Yeah, you should go look up what the banyan tree symbolizes. It's really actually, it's probably the most epic tree that exists. And I know also the banyan tree is, just for fans of, movies like Avatar, that the tree of life is inspired by a banyan tree, in which me and her went and visited. That was actually one like off the coast of Bora Bora that James Cameron went to. And that one's really tucked. We went exploring, and they told us where we could find it, and we were just driving up this muddy pathway. We get out and we're walking through like this just bushes. There's no buildings, there's no lights, there's nothing. And then this dude in a cloth sees us and goes, and we were like, this is a movie happening right now. Walked, he like on some Lion King shit. Remember when Simba is lost and like Timon and Pumbaa like pull the leaves apart, and then Simba like sees, and then it goes into the it goes and all the bugs and everything, and it just shows why the forest is amazing. This happened. This dude goes like this, like spreads the branches and leaves or what, the brush, and inside is this massive, beautiful banyan tree. And so that tree has been a through line for us for, you know.
But why the one in PR? Like, how did you just?
Because that was where we met. That was where we met, and that was where a lot of the conversations like had taken place. It was a very special.
Oh,
place.
that's right. You shot the movie there.
Yeah, we got trapped there in COVID. Great place to get trapped.
I remember that. Yeah, not so
fantastic.
Bad. You guys have
fantastic place to get trapped.
That's the best. I tell you, that's the best spot in the world.
Yeah. It is. You and Megan, from what the outside seem to have, just really deep connection. It does feel like you guys are like intertwined at the soul. I'm very happy for you guys. Was she pregnant, or was that like a little like I saw she had a little bump? You got to go.
No, I
want to ask you one question after this, but is she pregnant? Or was that
no? That was a music video. That was. I mean, again, that's like. I like to leave a lot of stuff up for interpretation. There's a reason behind every single thing that happened in that music video. Even with, you know, some part of me is like, leave art up for interpretation. I guess that's where I'll leave it.
Okay, cool. Easy.
But everything has a meaning. So
I did want to ask though, because we saw it, and Nina obviously knows of Megan and you, and she's like, we were just so curious because my fiance Nina is pregnant. I'm expecting a daughter in 2 months. I know how much you love your daughter, and you speak so highly of her, and just like, dude, help me. Like, what can I expect, dude? I'm gonna be a girl dad, which is terrifying, but so exciting at the same time. And this next chapter of my life is so close, but I haven't done anything for this. My life has not changed at all. Then all of a sudden, I have a daughter.
Yeah. So everything that you do, from the day that she is conceived to the day that she dies, like everything will have an effect on her. So always try and watch the tone of your voice. Always your pheromones are so important, you know, make sure that you keep that girl close to you. Make sure that you have this made me bawl my eyes out. My daughter came to me and she was like, I just need your hug. Like, there's nothing like my dad's hug. I was just like, oh my God, bro, just start. Like, she hugged me, and while she was hugging me, I was like, damn. And that comes from just like years and years of just always giving that safe embrace, right? Like, you're the first man she's ever gonna be in love with.
Come on, bro.
You're the first man she's ever gonna be in love with, and so you have this connection with her, well, no matter what anybody does in her life, no matter who she marries and what, you are always going to be the safe place for your daughter. And so give her that love that so many young girls and grown women out here don't get to have.
Yeah.
And
fuck you, bro.
And make sure that she doesn't stand around when I'm telling stories.
And
oh yeah, he said you were saying crazy shit.
She kind of rolled in when I was telling the story.
And rolled out when you started.
No, I switched it. I switched the story into a story about respecting your teachers. It was not where I started.
It was still. I was just like,
it was not where I started.
Hey,
Uncle Mike.
I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
I said that was the last question. I do have one more.
Yeah, please.
I have to ask this. Dude, the decision to black out your tattoos was crazy. First off, how long did that take?
I think like 70 hours.
Was it painful?
It was the most excruciating thing I've ever went into my life. There was a point where I like gave up and I just felt like I was just dying. Like, I mean, when you have to wake up after 6-7 hours of it, go back, and you're talking about 44 needles, 21 needles, different things just going over and over again. And plus my body was already tattooed. So essentially you're just tattooing over scar tissue.
Yeah. Who did it?
Her name's Rocks.
Got it.
Yeah, there was a point on that table where I just was, I felt my body leave my body. I was just like, because what can you do? You can't stop. You have to finish the job. You can't, I would never in my life like go under, you know, to like, you know, go to.
I was gonna say no numbing.
So you have to, dude. I just gave up and gave my body to the gods and was just like, all right, like
Jesus. Okay, so
hit me.
then this is the hardest part of this. How do you make that decision? What in you goes? I'm a black out all these tattoos on my torso.
I looked in the mirror one day and I was like, this looks like a person who has rewrote himself so many times on his body and just doesn't know who the fuck he is anymore. It just looked like straight chaos, right? My chest was just like, I had redone my chest 6 times, dude. Just the chest, let alone like other places, or I'll throw this over this, or throw this over this. It just looked like someone who was completely confused. Like it your body, right? You gotta treat this like you're writing a journal or something. Imagine if you took a journal and you like, you know, you just kept writing over the same page every day for. I started getting tattoos when I was 13, so I don't know what. I don't know what is that. 21 years for 21 years, you just on one page just write different things. And then look at that page and then tell me if you're not confused. Like, why didn't you just turn a page and start over a new thing? Or why didn't you just space out the lines? Like that was how I felt.
Fair. It's sick.
Thank you.
It's so sick. When you did it, I was like, bro, fuck.
It's not done.
I'm obviously a friend and just like a fan of your art, but like you continue to just surprise and impress me. I love watching the journey, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
We
you,
didn't
OP.
even touch on 27 Club. We don't have to. But
oh shit! Or MGK Day.
He's a restaurateur.
Shit.
Yeah, no, I mean, but it's
Coffee
Nah,
shop
yeah, it's
too.
fine. It's fine. And
Okay.
great food at it.
Yeah.
I came and ate all the food yesterday.
yeah. It was nice. It was nice seeing you replace addiction with food. And just going full out of the way you eat food. I watched you. I was like, this dude's done so many drugs. The way you ate food was
This is such a known
absolutely insane. This dude, like the cautious bites that you should take. He didn't care his finger. There's maple syrup everywhere.
It's wild. It's an experience to watch him eat food.
To watch him eat food, right? So that's a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
everybody-
for sure.
it's a known
Oh, it's
bit.
crazy.
Yeah.
Is your coffee shop nearby?
My
It's
coffee
very
shop is right
close.
there. Yeah.
Very close. And
Yeah.
the food's
You
fantastic.
want to go?
Yeah, you want to stop by there
I'd
real
love
quick?
to.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll be
go
down
with
because
that,
I need to grab some coffee or something.
MGK Day as well.
Yeah.
I think this will be out
Yeah.
by then, but bro, Cleveland fucking loves you. I'm sorry you got booed
thank
because
you.
of me last night. My bad.
Dude, I'm an entertainer. It's for the art, dude.
my bad,
I
bro.
told you.
Reaction.
I thought I could bring it home. I thought those knuckles would do it. I don't know, bro. Whatever.
I got a lot of props for the Knuckles at the club last night.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My boys, like, I mean, you know, and they're big fans of the, you know, of what's happening in WWE, and they were just like, they couldn't say it out loud, like in the arena, but they were like, yo, I like those Knucks, man.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, hell yeah.
How was the club last night, by the way? Must have been fun.
You're an idiot. You're an idiot. You go out the night that I don't go out, and then we go out. I went and did Lonely Road at every
Stop.
bar
You did?
possible.
Bro, come on.
I went and did that. There's a country bar called The Farm, and they come over to me and they were like, Haley Welch is over there,
Yeah.
and
Talk to it.
yeah,
Yeah.
and I was like, or they were like,
What was your reaction to that? Great.
well, that's how the thought in my head of, oh, it's a country bar,
Right.
and so I was like, oh my god, we should just run Lonely Road tonight. Like, there's nothing better than when you're breaking a record and you just go and just.
So I missed the only night that I had it.
You missed a great
Is
night.
Slim pissed?
Slim was furious. Try calling him right now. You see, he didn't answer the text. I know.
I texted him. Fuck.
I'll
make it up.
No, it was just a good night with the city or whatever. But you know, I don't drink anymore. It's my version of going out is very like much more strategic, and that was, you know, I was kind of there with the purpose, knowing like this is a good night for the city of Cleveland to kind of hear Lonely Road for the first time.
Yep.
What is it? What month is it?
August.
Yeah, I'm sober officially a year.
Congrats.
Yeah.
That's impressive, bro.
Yeah, thank you.
It'll really change your life, won't it?
Dude, it's a good look on you, bro.
Thank you.
Your aura, I'm telling you, is like you're vibing. You're high vibe.
Thank you.
As Kevin was saying.
And smiling more than ever too. I like even like when I posted that picture of me, you and Jelly from last night, You have all those like Twitter communities, like MGK fans that are just like, he's smiling again. He's always smiling now.
Yeah.
He seems so happy.
Rare, I guess.
That room last night was radiating, bro. Like the three of us together just felt cool because like I know it's cool to be around people that battle the same demons that I do, and like Jelly obviously has so much of that.
I know.
Ingrained in him.
Yeah, it's that journey is constantly bumpy for me. But
what do you find the hardest part of it?
Just that itch that never goes away. Never goes away. But I agree. It's a good look, and I really just want to do it for everybody who feels like they can't, because I really took pride in how unsober I was, like,
yeah.
That's the Rockstar lifestyle.
Yeah. But
what was your drug? Besides all of them, but like your main one?
Cocaine, codeine.
Yeah.
Damn.
Cocaine, codeine. I loved 30s, 15s, perks. Like
that's where I lived.
Those were saucy for sure. Like I would take them in the studio and just rap for days. But I'll be at the house trying to chill right now, getting sober off the alcohol and pills right now. On the mic, I've been sharpening my skills right now, just in case I gotta pick it up and kill right now. I'm rapping like before I had a deal right now. I'm hungry like I never had a meal right now. Got the blues getting green like it's teal right now. Can't get out the game like I'm Jordan Peele right now. And I'm chilling with LP. My shirt's Fred Perry and my underwear LV. My mind's all Gucci and my body is healthy. On this mission to the money, Big Mike, let's get wealthy.
Sounds good to me.
And I'm in Cleveland right next to where hell be. With the telescope, they couldn't see me. I'm stealthy. Mainstream sellout, but can't nobody sell me. I made it out myself. Couldn't nobody help me. Everything is just like thought.
All right, gangster, bro. Thanks for doing
Hell
that.
yeah. Nah, for sure.
I didn't want to ask.
Finally.
Machine Gun Kelly, ladies and
Yes.
gentlemen. Bro, thanks for coming on. It's been a long time since you came and performed live on episode 100 of Impulsive.
Wow.
In the garage of the house that you ended up buying.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So crazy.
Mama
Let's go.
Paul.
Yep. All right, that's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening, watching, viewing, subscribe. We'll see you next time. Take it easy.
Go
Peace.
stream Lonely Road right now.